Hello, class. Well, let's do problem number 29. So, I didn't include the directions, so hold on. Let's back up a little bit. It asks us to find the interval of convergence. So, what do we use? The ratio test. So here we have 2 times 2 to the n times x plus 3 times x plus 3 to the n over 3n plus 3 times 3n over 2 to the n times quantity x plus 3 to the n. And that has to be less than 1. Does everybody see where this is coming from? This right here is my n plus first term, and I'm dividing by my nth term, which is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of the nth term. And now when I do that, I am going to see that that is going to cancel out with that, and that's going to cancel out with that, and I'm going to be left with the limit as n approaches infinity of the absolute value. Now I'm going to put my n terms together. So really I have this 2 times 3n, so that's 6n over 3n plus 3 times x plus 3 is less than 1. Agreed? You with me? So now what do I have? Once I apply the limit, this is not affected by n's at all, but this is. So what's 6n divided by 3n plus 3? 2. So here I have 2 times the absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 1. Let's divide by 2. So the absolute value of x plus 3 is less than 1/2. From this point, I can tell you that the radius of convergence is 1/2. And I know what it's centered about from way up here. What is it centered about? -3. Good, because x minus c. Remember that? And so in this case, it's x minus -3. And so if it's centered at -3 and my radius of convergence is 1/2, what is my initial interval of convergence? -3 and a half. And I'm going to go all the way to, what do we got here? What do we got here, Tiger?
Raining. Why are we learning right now? Don't you know?
Good idea.
Like anytime it rains, in my class we just play heads up. Why you're about to be me? I'm just bored, really. I get really weird when it's raining. I can't.
Why don't you sit down and learn
I
something?
can't. Oh, I'll go
People.
bother somebody else.
Sorry, Julie Watson, coach.
Archer. Excuse me, Archer.
I'm reading your jacket.
This is old.
You are, but that's okay.
First of all, you'll always be older than me. So, by how many years? 4? I think.
No, not 4. We were in high school
But
together.
I'm young. I could have been like the lower grade. How old are you? When's your birthday? No, when's your birthday?
Say it. August.
You're not. Oh, so you were a baby too. Did you start college at 17 or?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
I was
so we
17
are.
when we,
Yeah.
so
Me too.
3 years.
I'm September, but
3 years.
okay.
All right. I'm glad we worked that out, guys.
See, that's
So
math.
you're only 3 years older than me. That's awesome. Okay, so this is my initial interval of convergence. But what do we always have to do? Check the endpoints, right? Now, again, if they only asked for the radius of convergence, that's an easier problem because you don't have to do the additional work by checking the endpoints. You just say r is equal to 1/2 and you're done, right? But now we start at -3, we go 1/2 this way and 1/2 this way. So -3 minus half is -3.5. -3 plus 1/2 is -2.5. So that's my initial interval of convergence. And so now let's check what happens when x is equal to negative 3.5. Well, when x equals negative 3.5, I get that this is the summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of 2 to the n over 3n times, what's inside here? Negative 1/2 to the n, which is also known as the summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of negative 1 to the n, 2 to the n, over 3n times 2 to the n. Do you all see where I'm getting that? I'm breaking up my negative 1/2 to the n as negative 1 to the n divided by 2 to the n. So the negative 1 to the n is up there, the 2 to the n is down there, and now the 2 to the n's cancel out, and I just have this summation. You tell me whether this will converge or diverge. Again, I could pull out a 1/3 out of this whole thing and have it be 1/3 times the summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of negative 1 to the n over n. So what does this do? Converges by the alternating series test, because it's just the alternating harmonic series. Agreed? Cool. So what does that mean? I should include negative 3.5. Now I have to check negative 2.5. When I put in negative 2.5 in here, let's use blue. I'm going to have the summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of 2 to the n over 3n times negative 2.5 plus 3, which is 1/2 to the n. So that 1/2 to the n and the 2 to the n cancel out, and I just have the summation as n goes from 1 to infinity of 1 over 3n. Will that converge or diverge? Diverge. Why? P series, it's the harmonic series, either one of those would work. So this diverges. So I didn't say this guy converged by alternating series test. I said it, but I didn't write it. This will diverge by P series test. So what that means is gosh. But that is my interval of convergence. So I should have paused because you said something about getting a negative or something, but I hope that you saw. Okay, cool.